Grab a notepad and take these movies down. These are the top 10 movies that you should never watch alone if you ever want a good night's rest. Number 10. The Haunting. The Haunting is the quintessential haunted house movie, based on an adaptation of a Shirley Jackson short story, chronicles the escapades of 4 poor souls who start poking around a terrible house when they are forced to spend a night in it. What follows after is a series of nerve-wracking occurrences that will remove any peaceful sleep from your eyes. This suspense-filled movie must be watched in the company of friends. Don't say we didn't warn you. Number 9. Rosemary's Baby. Imagine being pregnant for the devil himself. Well, that is the dilemma Rosemary finds herself in this movie. Rosemary has to deal with an evil cult who intends to use her baby for rituals. This Roman Polanski's tale is a psychological horror that will leave you mortified. The artistic direction is brought to the fore as he patiently builds up the movie to its scariest moments. While it's not an in-your-face horror, Rosemary's Baby is one of those movies that messes with your head, leaving you with nothing but fearful thoughts. Number 8. Nightmare on Elm Street. The biggest mistake you can make is to watch this film just before going to bed alone. That's because Nightmare on Elm Street's horror is directed at those who sleep alone. This American slasher film depicts the vengeful Freddy Krueger as a disturbing spirit who invades and kills his victims in their dreams. This always turns out to be the case in reality as well, as all Freddy Krueger's victims wind up dead after having those nightmares. After watching this film, the image of Freddy Krueger will haunt you for weeks. Psycho. There is no questioning the supreme talent of the legendary Alfred Hitchcock, and this movie, Psycho, has gone down as one of the most iconic entries. Psycho tells the story of a homicidal hotel clerk and is filled with enough scary scenes to leave you disturbed. The shower scene in the movie was reputed to be one of the most disturbing scenes in cinema history. Despite the controversy surrounding its release, the critical acclaim of Psycho has only continued to rise over the years, with some considering it Alfred Hitchcock's best work. Number 6. The Blair Witch Project. The Blair Witch Project made a name for being one of the most successful and most profitable independent films of all time. The film follows a group of students who set out to make a documentary about a famous story surrounding the Blair Witch. What followed was a series of paranormal events that will leave you believing in the supernatural. And if you are able to go through most of the movie on your own, what transpires in the end will leave you shocked for days. Take our word for it, don't watch it alone. Number 5. The Conjuring. This horror movie stars Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as real-life paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Wilson. The Wilsons come to the aid of a family who had just moved into a haunted farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. They are quickly made aware of a malevolent spirit who attacks the children. Swiftly, they go through a long, disturbing process to rid the house of its paranormal activities. You'll be wary of touching any dolls for a few more days after watching this one. No thanks to the torn-up doll called Annabelle, which was possessed by the evil spirit haunting the house. Number 4. Halloween. When you are introduced to a film that is titled Halloween, no one needs to tell you that you are in for a fearsome fest. Halloween offers you that and more. The movie is premised on the return of a killer who goes by the name Michael Myers. Myers returns to his hometown on October 31st, the night of Halloween, when he begins to stalk a group of unsuspecting teenagers. This slasher remains one of the all-time horror classics. You won't be looking forward to Halloween parties after this one. Number 3. The Shining. This movie is an adaptation of Stephen King's novel of the same name. Reputed as one of the best performances from lead actor Jack Nicholson, The Shining is one of the most iconic horror movies ever made. It tells the story of Jack Torrance, portrayed by Nicholson, who is an aspiring writer and a recovering alcoholic who accepts an offer to take on the position of a caretaker role in an isolated but historic overlook hotel. The Shining will leave you scared and disturbed in a way that many other films can't quite achieve. Number 2. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This movie is a true gore fest that will leave you horrified. The amount of gore in this movie was so much that it was banned in several countries, and numerous theaters stopped running the movie due to complaints from moviegoers. With that sort of reaction, why on earth will you choose to see this movie alone? This Tobe Hopper's movie leaves you immersed in sheer horror from the first minute to the last that it makes for a truly hard watch. Number 1. The Exorcist. Let's get it out, no film will terrify you as much as The Exorcist. And even if it is the last film in the world, you definitely should not watch it alone. This movie tells the story of an aging priest's attempt to exorcise an ancient demon who had possessed a 12-year-old girl called Reagan. It will leave you with images that will keep replaying in your dreams when you sleep. Are there any movies that you feel we should have included on this list? Let us know in the comment section below, and thank you very much for watching.